All right, so in the last video, we added our background, we animated it so it kind of fit with the motion of the camera in our scene. And now we're going to color correct and color grade our model so that she fits in with the background and the environment that we've just put her in. So let's go ahead and jump into Premiere and get started with that. Okay, so here we are. And yours might be a little bit different than mine because of the background that you chose. So just kind of keep that in mind. With that, let's go ahead and switch over to our color mode, or color workspace, and kind of reset Lumetri here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my white balance selector and choose the white of her jacket, like maybe on her arm, okay? And so now we've got the white selected for the scene. And then I'm going to kind of boost the exposure because she's outside for me. We've got this, and I'm going to drop the contrast a little bit. Maybe bring up the shadows a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Something like that. I'm also going to boost the saturation just a little, not a whole lot. Okay. Now I'm going to, at this point, it doesn't look too bad. I might bring some more browns into the scene because the sand, in my case, the sand will reflect onto her white jacket. Just a little bit. Highlights are going to push a little bit orange. Okay. Shadows will be blue. Okay. All right, we're getting there. Now let's go into, I'm going to go into HSL, and I'm going to work with her face here. So I'm going to grab the color picker for HSL and kind of grab her skin tones. Okay. All right, like that. That's pretty good. And now we're going to work on her skin. Let's try something like that. Not too bad. So we've gone from that to that. We've gone from, let's see, that to that. Pretty big difference. Last thing I'm going to do in curves is I'm going to work on her lips a little bit. So I'm going to say hue versus saturation. And I'm going to grab that color in there, and I'm just going to boost those up just a little bit, right? And I can come down to maybe luminance versus saturation. Maybe something like that. Not bad. The last thing I'm going to do now to kind of complete this scene out, so I'm going to add a little bit of a blur to my background. So let's jump back into editing. There we go. And I'm going to look for blur. So that's going to be under Video Effects, Blur and Sharpen. And I'm just going to do a Gaussian blur, drag that out. And then just like we animated the position, we're going to animate the blurriness. So I'm going to click on my stop. Well, first off, change the 0 to say like 10. And then click my stopwatch next to blurriness. And then I'm going to move out into time to the end of the clip. Change my blurriness now to maybe 15 or 20. And then click repeat edges, of course. And there we go. And you can toggle that on and off by clicking the effects to see if there is actually a difference being made. There is a slight blur being added, which is fine. I don't want to over blur that image, but it's just enough to add that depth of field back. All right, so there you go. That's the project. We have brought in an image sequence. We've transformed it or interpolated it to 1920 by 1080. We have applied an ultra key to key the green screen out. We have applied a mask and animated that mask to remove elements of our shot. And we've composited our model into an environment and animated effects within Adobe Premiere. So we've done quite a few different steps here to create this short piece of footage. I hope you found this helpful, and I look forward to seeing you in class.